Hi everybody, and welcome back. This is C++ tutorial series for beginners, and we continue with video number 6. And in this video, before we go on, let's test ourselves what we learned. So the exercise what we do fast, and you can pause the video here after I set the task, is you have just write this what you see here on screen down, but without looking on it. So what we are going to do is you can look at one more time, then you delete all what you have, and now write all down without looking the starting code. And what you should print out is a message, and the message should be I understood the basic starting point. Something like that. You can choose what you want print out, but later what you have to do is you write what we learned so far down. You try to say loud why you do that what you do, and then you press this start button to see if your code is compiling right and starting right and putting out right. If not, so for example, it is anything wrong. Very important part here, making errors is normal in programming. Let's say it so, because we will have many errors, and this is actually a part of programming, to not to make errors, to solve the errors. So, and when you have an error, then your task is not to use the thing what you have saved here or watched here. Then you have to solve this error by going to the internet web and try to find another source. It could be the same source like this one, but it must be another source. And the reason for that is you learn to research a problem. This is the exercise when you make an error. If you make no error, good. Okay, you can pause the video now, do it, test it. Of course, I don't pause it. I will continue because I don't want to waste your time. So I make this exercise too. So I hope you are finished right now after you pause the video and start it. And now I show how I do it. And let's get started. In the first line we had something, but I don't use it. Why? I will say, because I search first the start point. What was my start point in the programming language? Int main, yes, something like that. And then we have this, I called this all wrong, I think. These are brackets, let's call them brackets, whatever. And then I press enter and start with a curly braces. Oops, not this one, curly braces. And then I press one more enter and I have my start point. This what you see right now is my start point. I press Ctrl save, and when I go here on top and press enter, this one works already, but we are not finished. But just a check, yes, this works, and I put nothing out, but this one is already a check. Good so far. So the next thing is, I said when I write a code, the next question is where we write a code. We have to write the code between these curly braces. Okay. And then I said we have to memorize something because I have not explained how to print something out. And in this exercise, we try to print out any message which you want. So let's get started. So I hope you have memorized the little code. It starts with std : and then you see sometimes there are helping things, but it's helped not here much. It was called cout. Very interesting is here. Normally, a side note, normally this Unreal Engine, well, not Unreal, Visual Studio would point out here suggestions and perhaps what you need. But in this case, it is not doing this, and I will say soon why. So cout, okay, I learned this one, and then, oh my god, I forget myself it. No, then we make this one, I think. perhaps I make it wrong too. And then this strange this sign here, and then I said I need a quotation marks. Okay, I did it. Then a space perhaps, and I need one semicolon back. And then I press Control Save. Oh, but wait a minute. This one indicates already an error, but I said, but probably this one is the correct one, which I learned, which I memorized, right? The problem here is I already told you that when we write a code here, some of this coding stuff need a library. And in this case, indeed, this one, when we hover over it, it says namespace std has no member cout, which means we need first include this library anyhow. Not much about it, and I said also just learn when you write cout that we need on top a library. So that's why I started first with main, and I write the library later when I need it, not at start. I don't write libraries at start when I don't need it. You write only libraries when you need it. In my case, I want print something out. Okay, now I need it. I have to write this library. And with cout, we need the library. We memorized this code here, sharp include. Oh, then I can write it, and there is already a hint how to write it. Include. Okay. include, and then this one, this strange sign, and then IO stream. Yes, this is it. Okay, now I think I have wrote all things. Oh, wait, there is one more thing. I press Ctrl S to save. Here, the task said we should print out a message, and where we put out the message, here we put out the message, and I said, I think I did it. That's my message. And then Ctrl S one more time. We'll press debugger here, and let's see. Okay, here it prints out with the code on top. We see it 0, which means code 0. It executed without an error. We don't see any red arrow signs, no yellow warning signs. Perfect, perfect. And here on top we see also our output. I think I did it. Nice. This one we don't need. So one more thing, if you have made an error anywhere, I don't know, careful about this kind of errors. They are more difficult to find. Libraries errors are more difficult to find, yes, but errors like this one are easier to find. For example, we forget this sign, this quotation marks, and it is automatically make a red line below, but still you can compile it and let the compiler tell you what kind of error it is, right? So let's see, I made intentionally an error, and your job would be here to find this error. If you made any error, for example, go to the internet and try to solve this error in the internet. But first you look, of course, here what it says. If you can solve it with this information, perfect, which means expected a semicolon. Yes, I have a semicolon, but it says on line 6, and then missing closing quote. Okay, it's already telling us our error, which means we don't need to go to the internet and search this error. Here, the missing quote I did. Control S for save, but this one still says here we have error, but careful, you have to compile it one more time to see if there is still an error. So don't irritate. After you changed here something, first compile it again and then check if there is an error. Here was no error. Perfect. So that's that. I think you succeeded, and you see we learned not that much, but that what we learned is the starting point, and we can put out something. And in this video we're talking about something what I already kicked out here at the start. It was comments, why we need comments and how to create comments. First of all, let's let's write a comment, and I write here on top over my main a comment. And how I write a comment, I start with a slash, and again 2 slashes. There are 2 methods, I think, or even more, but one way is this one. You'd write 2 slashes, okay, well, and then you see these 2 slashes change their color to green, and the green color in this IDE, in Visual Studio, and must be not green, but in this case most time it is green. The green color is most time a hint this is a comment, which means this should only help the programmer. The compiler don't care about this comment. It will kick it out later. So the compiler will go only to this line, kick this comment, what we are going to write here, out, and then it goes to this line and looks only this code what it needs. So, but why we are doing this? Because a comment should help us, the developer, or it should help the next developer who is reading your code. That's very important. So you have to write a comment for yourself or for another person, but the main reason is why you make a comment. It should help. It should not irritate. For example, you should not write here a crap like that. Or you should also not write an absolute big essay here, which goes, you will see on the net, they have comments which really goes long. That's okay. But in our case, at start, try to write a short comment, a precise comment, and a descriptive comment. And if you can't do it, just write a long comment. Doesn't matter. So, but what we want here, what should it help? So, and what we should comment here, actually, this is the next question. In our case, I want comment that this one is the starting point, right? It makes no sense. After you memorize it, you probably need. So this comment would be normally deleted, because you should write comments which makes sense and helps you really, and don't waste time and don't waste space and irritates more. But let's write this one just for demonstration purposes. So this comment is a waste, but for demonstration, but for demonstration we still do it. Oops. Still do it. So, and next thing, if you want to go now to the next line, you see when I press here my this one, and then go to the next line, I have a problem. When I write something here, it is again the normal coding thing, and then you have to do the same thing again. Write a slash, again a slash, and we are back to the comment section. And let me finish this one. This is a waste, but for demonstration we still do it. Here, oops, here. Oh, let's make it still so, and let's put a full stop here. Here, the program starts, right? Here the program starts. And now we have a comment, and the comment should be connected to the thing what you want comment. In this case, this one is connected to this one, because I say here the program starts. So that's one thing. The next thing is we can make another way a comment too. We can write another way. The next I'll show you that too, because here we have a problem when we write a longer list of comments. Then we don't want to type all time this slash. So what you can make is you write slash, then an asterisk, and what it's creating then is this one normally. Well, let me do this one, and then this is the starting point, and then you write again asterisk and a slash. And this is another way of writing a comment. The difference is here, this one is called normally a line comment because it is made only for one line, but of course you can add here many lines as well too when you started with 2 backslashes, but this one you write only one time the start point here, last time here, and in the middle now all what you write down in the middle will be commented, is considered to be a comment. For example, this is a test. Yes, I can write more and so on and so on. And you see this one is now a comment for longer lines. But in general, this one is used, for example, you describe something more complex, and this one is used for hints, or which is very also to describe the functionality, but more in a shorter way. So let's keep them up here. We have here crap. Oops. Here one more thing. If you are using Visual Studio, you can press Alt and then the up key, and you can see I can move this code without cutting out and pasting in up and down. You can use, of course, the same thing with, let me show you this too, the key combination Control X to cut and Control I think V to paste. This is the also possible. You cut it out, go to the place, and then place there where you want. So we have 2 ways of comments, but let me show you one thing more and then we are finished almost. And I said comments should help. Right now when you see this one, oops, and this should be connected here. This one is a total waste. Don't make something like that. Comments should help, should provide information, and should give good information. In this case, this one is total crap. This one you should kick out. I keep it just for this video, but later I kick it out definitely. And this one is also a bad comment actually, because when you as a programmer you learn this, that int main, for example, is our start point, and this knows, everybody knows that. As long as it makes only then sense to write this comment here if anyone is changing the default start point, and this one is not doing it, and started a professional can do this, then he is interacting with the background technique, and so that we don't care. At start, this one is just a waste. So, but yeah, if you really change and in the future anyone this start point, then perhaps you can write this as a comment, but right now it makes no sense. So let's kick them out, because I said comments should help, should not irritate, and should only help us, and right now they do nothing out of them. And we save them. So the only thing what you should know is how to write a comment. 2 slashes, 1 line comment, and slash asterisk for long line comment. This is the other thing which I keep now here on top as a hint. And the last thing what no, not the last thing, one thing more thing, you can of course write a comment, for example, behind inline the code too, because it said this will be ignored by the compiler and kicked out. I can write this comment here too. This is the start point, for example, and in general they don't do this most time because it is not so very readable and visible. I mean with that, for example, if you have it Control X, Control V, if you have it here and you read it from top down, it is directly visible, and then you know this one is connected to the bottom. But of course, Control X, you can write it here too. And the reason why you can write it here, I already said, this one will be kicked out by the compiler. It is not considered a part of the coding. And now let me go to the last point what I wanted to mention with comments, which is another functionality. Till now I said A comment should help. A comment should provide information and so on. But with comments, we can do one more thing, and many do. We can test coding, or we can activate and deactivate coding. That's very nice too. What I mean with activate, deactivate coding, for example, I wrote this code here, and let's say for test purposes, I want that this one is not right now printed out. Easy way, instead of deleting this one or whatever, I can just go in front here and write // and this one is commented out now. I save that and then I press, and now you can see my start button. It is just for test purposes, nothing there. Perfect. And later I can decomment this one and then I have it back. Of course we can, let's make a copy this one and paste this one, and this one works also with more lines. But if you have here a big code, let's see, I want to comment this all out, and you see, to go every line by line would take a lot of time. There is a shortcut, of course, and the shortcut's different from IDE to IDE. We talked about IDE. IDE means just this programming program what you use, in this case Visual Studio. In online it would be something else, and there are shortcuts. There are different kind of shortcuts, and in this case the shortcut is for Visual Studio, I think, Control, I don't know it, or and anything with K and C. Yeah, okay, this one works. This is not the right one, but this one works also. Okay, in Visual Studio, we press K and C, and you see I commented now out all the stuff. It added in front the slashes, and this one is ignored. Or for test purposes, let's make the other way. Okay, I want activated again. You mark all, then you press again Control K. You also you hold Control KC for commenting, you hold Control all time, and then now for uncommenting KU, and oops, again KU. Yes, it's uncommenting. All right, I think that's enough talk for this video. The thing is, there is more to talk about, comments and much more, but this is enough for us at start, and we will continue then in the next video. See you there. Bye.